Well, I'm here giving exclusive videos here on YouTube at this particular time right now, but I'm actually moving the majority of my platform over to Patreon. So if you would like to actually follow my work and what I'm doing and like to support exactly what I'm doing because you believe in what I'm doing and it's actually benefiting you, consider coming over and joining me over at Patreon. The link will be down here below. I appreciate seeing you over there. I'm guarantee you would have answers for a lot of problems, and you will have a lot of answers and coming with solutions here in the very near future as we continue to unravel and see how things are falling apart here in America. We can't trust in the news sources. We can't trust in the media. We can't trust in some of the alternative news sources, but we can trust in independent people who are actually doing, rather than doing a lot of talk. We can watch their footprint and we can literally see what they're all about. You can literally see what I'm all about. So, hey, consider coming a patron. Come join me over at Patreon. Looking forward to seeing you over there. That's my prayer. All right, YouTube. I was going to put this over on my Patreon, but I thought I'd just go ahead and put it here on my YouTube channel right now. So I want y'all to understand something. I want y'all to listen real close. And if you can, try to really, truly listen to me, okay? Because I'm going to say it the way I know how to say it and the way I see it. And I know that the mainstream news media is never going to put it this way. That's the reason why they're always trying to silence someone like me and others who report news independently. Because they don't want you to be able to read between the lines of what's going on. Now, listen to me very closely. America, since we abandoned Americans last year in Afghanistan, and mind you, they are still over there. We're close to a whole year now, and we still have abandoned Americans and left them over there. And they still got you singing, "I'm proud to be an American." And what I mean by that is, we the people are a hell of a lot different than them, the Congress. Hell of a lot different. And I'm telling you, I want y'all to listen to me as best as you can. America is going around now, since we are allegedly out of a war. America is now going around instigating wars. If you will go back into my archives and listen to what I had to say prior to Ukraine, I told you all, but well before it happens, I said, it's a shame. You would have thought that Crimea would have been the last stance to let the whole world know that Russia ain't playing with Ukraine, and it means what it says and says what it means. I mean, at least Russia done something. Now, we've got China. Because the United States Department, decided to send Nancy Pelosi over there, spend millions of dollars over there to instigate another war. Taiwan with China. And watch this. Just like we're not going to help, NATO is not going to help Ukraine. I told you it was going to be turned into an ash heap. And what is it right now? It's a literal ash heap. Russia does not like America or NATO flirting around with the borders of its country. They want to keep a distance. What's wrong with that? Wouldn't we want the same thing? All right, so listen to this. So now the world is suffering a grain shortage, and other countries are begging Ukraine and begging Russia to help with the exports, out of which, if the Biden administration, Joe Biden didn't shut down the Keystone Pipeline, and we were already energy independent under Trump and his administration. Now we go from energy independent to dependent. Gas prices saw inflation off them. It's hard to believe that inflation has risen some 7-8% just in a year. I mean, it's off the chain. And Americans, listen, I believe our country is trying to impoverish us to try to get the majority of the people, the middle class and the poor, to depend on the government. I believe that's psychological warfare. But if we learned anything from Ukraine should realize, we'll give you weapons, but we ain't coming to your aid, we ain't coming to your help. Taiwan, if you got anybody over there, you need to start listening to what I'm saying. America may go over and flirt with the red line, but America ain't going to come and help you when China decides to invade Taiwan. And believe you me, they've been talking about it for quite some time. And I know the history of it, but I ain't going to go over it right now in this particular video. I'll give you this, though. Taiwan actually really, truly believes it's the real China. And then China, the big China, they don't think that they're the real China. But now it's going to flip the script. Big China believe that they are the real China, and Taiwan is not. And Taiwan, I don't know why they are flirting with the West. All you countries in the world who are outside of NATO, the one thing y'all need to understand that if you flirt with the West, you will be a third world country, if not below a third world country, in a matter of months. You don't believe me? Go look at Ukraine. Go look at Ukraine. And there's this old statement, an old saying that goes, you don't bite the hand that feeds you. You do not fight the hand that feeds you. Taiwan gets all of its imports from China. And yet still, you're going to sit up there and believe in the benevolence of the United States of America? Listen, the United States of America has a history of betraying its veterans. It has a history of betraying its own people. It has a history of turning tail and running and using other countries for its own advantage and gain. Now, don't get me wrong. We've been used by other countries because we've been having some buffoon presidents up there trying to court people who's going to put millions of dollars in their bank account. And it's a wonder why Joe Biden and Hunter Biden is not in jail. It's a wonder why Bill and Hillary Clinton is not in jail. But it's amazing the double standard that they get concerning so-called justice. Who determines what that justice is? Because we don't see none of these aristocrats getting any justice. Justice only rains down like crap does. Downhill. It falls on. Man, the hammer get thrown at us. They don't even get a hand slap or anything. And I'm still waiting on, where's the list of all these people with Jesseline Maxwell, whatever her name is. I mean, this is crazy. Do you get people out there that are whistleblowers telling you exactly what America's doing? All of a sudden, they're traitors because they say so. But they're telling you the truth about what America's done, but all of a sudden, they're traitors. This is amazing. Then you got Theodore Cruz, who sat up there, had a yes vote, turned it to a no vote, denied the veterans their just due in health care. Now, mind you, you know, the one thing about Americans is they have a very short-term memory. When politicians mess up like this, they don't even realize, they can't even remember what had went on. Can't at all. But I can tell you right now, and we still are sending millions upon billions of dollars. Why are we sending all that money to Ukraine when they ain't even in NATO? They're not even our ally. And in our own backyard, we've got a war at home on the borders over here that's unsecured. And then the Democrats are trying to spin it as if the Republicans are playing gutter politics. When the Democrats will not even go and visit the border, won't even do nothing to secure the border. We had Trump, under the Trump administration, the border was being secured, the wall was going up, and as soon as Biden get office, he halts it. As soon as Biden get office, he takes away thousands of jobs from America and put them in poverty. First thing he did. And I'm telling you, what is this all about? This is all about this so-called Green New Deal, where they're trying to force people to get into electric and solar. They're trying to force people. They're trying to force people to go out and get in debt, buy electric cars. That's what they're trying to do, so that they can support their agenda. And they don't care if it impoverishes the country, if it sinks or tanks the country, because they work for another country. They don't work for us Americans. I'm telling you, we did not elect these people. These people were selected. And there's a difference between election and selection. We got traitors at the highest of levels. But Taiwan, y'all messing up. Y'all messing up thinking that the United States of America is going to be the same deal. The United States and NATO, they'll send y'all weapons, but you don't stand a chance against China. And I'm going to tell you this. China, they can secure the borders, they can surround them, and they don't even have to fire one shot. All they have to do is cut off the imports. And once they cut off those imports, guess what? They have pretty much starved that country into submission. I mean, after all, China's a little bit smarter. Why go in and tear up a country and all this infrastructure when we can just starve them, impoverish them? And as they begin to die off, and pretty soon they're going to come to the table and begging for us to leave them alone, and they're going to be glad to come back part of old Mother China. They're going to be glad to become back. But and guess what? We get to keep the infrastructure intact. We get to move our government and put it in play there. We get to turn around and expand our borders even more so we can have a way to have a preemptive strike against, guess what? Some NATO countries. China's a little bit more smart than that. We have selected officials and nations full of buffoons up there in his office. And how is it that, listen, I don't have all the intel that they have. And it's obvious that a lot of independent news sources don't have the intel that they have. But you know what's amazing? It's amazing how we can see the forest for the trees, and we can tell you exactly what's going on through discernment and history, what is going on, because the moves that these boogers are making, they are not moves that Americans approve of. And here we are just sitting by as a people, just sitting by. And there's more of us than it is of them. What, some 380 million people? 535 up there? There's no way that all the law enforcement, FBI, CIA, DEA, Sheriff's Department, Police Department, SWAT team, there's no way that all of them outnumber American people. We should be able to do something about it. And they tell us, well, it's good if you peacefully protest. How did we protest when England come over here and put their foot on the back of our neck and told us what we're going to do? How did we protest? How did we protest at the Boston Tea Party? How did we do that? How did we gain our independence? Did we peaceably squabble and beg for the king to just please relent? And we just going to go be our by ourselves, just leave us alone? Did we do that? See what I mean? It's crazy. It's crazy. The mind manipulation and the mental gymnastics that go on again and again and again. I'm going to tell you what, Americans, now here's the solution. Since we're not going to participate and do anything that these people say, it'll be utter nonsense and foolish for another country to think they can come into America and invade this country. Utter foolishness and nonsense. And you know the reason why? Because Americans, we love our guns. You don't believe me? Look around me. We love them. I clutch these guns like I do my Bible. I do. Love it. Love the Bible. Love the guns. I love them. Love them. Love them. And there's a lot of Americans that agree with me. Well, I'm going to say the ones that's in the South. The people up north, you can tell they done been putting something in your water. You know, when I was in boot camp in 1985, they used to put saltpeter in the water. And of course, you know, some of you know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about saltpeter in the water. And that was there to accomplish a certain task and mission. And that's what they pretty much done to the North. They pretty much made them impotent. So, but it's crazy. It's literally crazy. The rhetoric and the nonsense is going forward. So the solution is, like I've been telling you before, instead of going out there buying $200,000 and $300,000 cars, go out there and spend that on. Don't go out there and spend on land. Don't go out there and buy a house that's $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 on a quarter acre of a land, or even just an acre of land. Go out there and buy a bunch of land, build multiple buildings on the land, secure the land by getting people around you that are mutually assisted so you can be able to protect, because that land is your country where you have your constitution there and you have your laws there outside of the laws of this wicked country right here. Because this country, I'm going to tell you, I've said it once, said it 1,000 times, I'm going to say it again, America don't give a damn. And you know us veterans, a lot of us veterans, we don't figure that out. I'm going to say not veterans. I'm going to say a lot of active duty people don't figure this out until they get outside of the mind manipulation and the brainwashing of the military, and they become a civilian, then they start to see. That's when the scales start falling off their eyes. Then they start to really truly see what this America is about. It's about corporations. We don't go to war unless it involves a corporation. Yep, and its interest. The news media owned by corporations. I mean, corporations pay all these news source outlets and stuff, and what they want to do, censorship, constant censorship. So the same thing you see that's going on over in Ukraine, United States of America set that up. Now they're setting up the same thing over in Taiwan. And I guess it's cost loss average over there. I guess if China did shoot down Nancy Pelosi, there's no big loss anyway. She's on her last leg anyway. I guess that's their sentiments. I don't know, but it damn sure would have started war. But they said we spent over $90 million in security for that trip. Where in the hell do we get all this money from? Where is it coming? Where do we get it? Where is it coming from? I'm telling you, I want y'all to remember this. You can tell a lot about a country by how it treats its poor. So how's America doing now?